Good morning and welcome back to Other Worlds Wednesday here on Gaming with ADHD. Today we are taking a look at Shadowrun Street Wyrd from Catalyst Game Labs. And before we get started, just wanted to let you know I will have an affiliate link in the description to DriveThruRPG. That's where I purchased my PDF of this book. But also, I'm trying to grow my channel and get a lot more content out for everyone. So if you haven't yet, I would absolutely appreciate it if you subscribed. And if you like what I'm doing here, please make sure to give the video a thumbs up as well. So Shadowrun Street Wyrd was released this year in 2021. It is 167 pages, available in both print and PDF. You can get it from the Catalyst Game Labs shop for $44.99 for the print version and $19.99 for the PDF. Or you can go to DriveThruRPG for the PDF for $19.99 as well. This is the second rulebook in the Sixth World line. The first was Firing Squad, released in 2020. So, some highlights about the book. This is about expanding the rules for magic use in the Sixth World from those rules that were provided in the core rulebook. There are rules for custom spells, expanded spirit companions, more adept abilities, alchemy, new magic traditions, initiates, magical groups, both how to create and some existing groups, and dark magics, including blood magic and insect spirits and shamans. Now, this is a lot of material, so I am going to be splitting this review up into probably 3 videos. I'll be talking about a couple of subjects today, and we'll continue that on over the next couple of Wednesdays. So come back to see the rest of those, and then in the final video I will put my final thoughts of the whole book. All right, so far some things that I like about the book. First off is the sheer volume of content. It's only 167 pages for this book, but it absolutely feels like it's larger than the page count. I don't know if it's because of the font size or the 2 columns or whatever it is they're doing, but I feel like I'm getting a lot out of the book, even though the page count does seem very small, especially for a $45 price point. There is a lot of flavor text scattered throughout the book. But one thing I did like is that, especially for a rule book, most of the rules were concentrated in about, or not rules, but most of the flavor text was concentrated in about 12 pages. They did have about a 6-page story at the beginning of the book, but they also had another section of about 12 pages that basically it covers the state of magic in the Sixth World. It seems a bit like it was content left over from slipstreams, or maybe because both of the books were in development around the same time, they used some of the content and were able to make them kind of match up, so that it feels like a bit of a supplement to slipstreams, or that slipstreams is more of a supplement to Street Wyrd. But overall, I like it. It does give an impression of what Catalyst is planning on doing with magic in the Sixth World as this edition moves on. I do think it fits the theme of the book very well. The way that the flavor text is written, it's very much a, hey, these are some things that are changing. These are some things that are evolving within the Sixth World. So it gives a reason that you would be adding these rules in. Now, I realize that some of the stuff probably existed in previous editions, but I'm not very familiar with the older editions, so I'm just going off of the material that I have and that I know about, and so I think they're setting this up very, very well. Another thing I liked about the book so far is that the new rules are a mix of what I'm going to call toolboxes. I'm taking that from the review that I did of the Galaxy Exploration Manual for the Starfinder role-playing game. A lot of what's in here is rules for, or ways to put things together to bring in some of your own, we'll call them rules. Be it new spells or groups, whatever. Some of it is done more as guidelines as opposed to a specific rule set. And then some of it is also just pre-written content. Like they give a new list or specific new spells or specific groups, things like that. And yes, I realize I'm kind of repeating myself. But some of it is very detailed as opposed to just being kind of vague, I guess we'll say. So I do really like that about that. Now, the first thing that I want to talk about from the book is the traditions. Now, in the core rulebook, you get two different traditions. Basically, you get hermetic traditions. I'm kind of equating that to like Gandalf. It's the old wizard, in his library, studying magic, books, jars of stuff on the wall, whatever it is. That's how I kind of look at the hermetic tradition. And then you also have the shamanic tradition. So sort of a village wise one type of magic use. Somebody who's more in tune with their surroundings, more in tune with their environment in general, as opposed to just book learning. Now, Street Wyrd adds two different types. The first one is the faith type traditions. Now, these are sort of shamanic, but they actually go in through ancient pantheons. So they include Greek and Roman, Egyptian, and Norse pantheons. They also have the Abrahamic tradition, so Christians, Muslims, Jewish. There's, they get to bring that in. There's karma, animus, and animal spirits, and then Gaia. So Gaia's a bit more, I realize technically it is very old, but it would be very, we'll call it newer, as far as a tradition of faith in nature and the earth, directly, as opposed to a spirit or a god figure. So then the other one is the logic-based traditions. They have both scientific and folk traditions. So this I thought was really, really good as far as just expanding how somebody can play a magic user. The way that it's written, all of the subjects are treated with a great deal of respect. They try to give logical explanations as far as why these faiths are now embracing magic, or these portions of faiths. I know that in some of the lore in the past, different religions were not open to magic, and so I think they've done a good job at representing all types of religions. So they're obviously not going to be listing every single specific religion in there, but I think they do very well at least getting types of religions where you could adjust the particular tradition to fit if needed. I think there is quite a bit of flexibility. Now, with that being said, and I actually kind of jumped a little bit farther ahead, I do like that they are dealing with the religions in a respectful way. They like I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. You may know that as Mormons. And they actually mention my faith in the book. So while I'm not demanding that, that my faith be in there, it was nice to see that, at least on a personal level, hey, here's how you could adapt your religion, into the Sixth World. So now, as far as the scientific traditions go, they are a bit more on, we'll call it the opposite route. They focus on the more logical side. So they look at chaos magic, dark magic. Actually, give me 1 second. Oh, so classical hermeticism, chaos magic, and black magic. So definitely more studious. And then they also list a couple of folk traditions. So to me, this was more of cultural representations as opposed to using a religion or faith as the background for the tradition. And here they use practical theurgy, so more pagan style religious practices. The Romani tradition, which I like how they put this sentence. To me, it kind of really encapsulates the respect that I was talking about. So it says, we won't go too deep here, since trying too hard to describe their abilities without being immersed in that culture is, well, a fool's game. Let's not do that. The Romani have always had strong beliefs that have guided their people since before the awakening, and they continue to do so even now. So, they're taking a known culture, and that to many people can be strange, can be odd, but finding a way to say, don't worry about the specifics of the culture. They know what they're doing. Here's a way that you could use that in your game. And they do go into it a little bit more. And then the final one is the storyteller tradition. So that goes a little bit more, like I was saying, as far as the village elder. Passing down an oral tradition, an oral history, an oral way of doing things. So not necessarily that they're based on faith, but based on just, hey, these are our teachings that we're passing down, through history. So I really enjoyed reading through the traditions. I really enjoyed seeing that expanded on in the book. I don't know if it's been done in earlier editions, as I said, but I liked seeing it in this one. So then the next thing that I want to talk about today is the organizations. So first off, they're going to give you guidelines for creating your own groups. If you want to run an all magic user Shadowrun group, then this is a way that you could do it. There are requirements for starting a group. You need at least 4 members. Surprise. That's the number of players you'd have at a typical gaming table. You would need a ceremony that takes at least 1 hour per member. And then each person during that ceremony must spend 5 karma. And that's to start the group. Now, once the group is started, you also need to establish 1 stricture. So this could be like a vow of poverty, a vow to help other people, whatever it is. But you need at least 1. But the rules say you're not going to want to add more than 6. because then it just gets really difficult to follow the rules. Now, there are benefits to setting up these groups. First off, you gain a group contact with loyalty 3. It could be that your group is connected to a larger group. Maybe there's a national organization, a world organization. And so you can use those contacts within the game. You could be gaining mentor spirits for the group. So instead of a mentor spirit just for yourself, it's a spirit that's going to come and teach all of the members of your group. And then if you're going to become an initiate of magic, then that actually, the cost to do so is actually reduced by the loyalty rating of your group. So there are benefits to setting up the organization. Now, they then go on to detail 10 different groups very specifically. Obviously, they leave a lot of wiggle room for a game master to go in and customize it the way that they need, but they're going to give the size of the group and its location, the different goals of the group, the strictures that they follow, the different specialties that they have. So maybe they're focused on healing, maybe they're focused on environmental causes, whatever it is. And then a description, usually about 3 or 4 paragraphs, just describing the organization and what it does. Now, beyond that, they actually go into 36 more groups. Now, these are not as detailed as the 10 that I was talking about, but they are all sorts of different groups, all sorts of different sizes, and they basically tell you this group wants to, and then just leaves it at that, and then the current status of the group. So you're going to get about a sentence for what they want to do, and then a short paragraph as far as their current status. You know, maybe it'll say where they're located, or maybe it'll say, you know, how active they are. You know, just a little piece of information. So overall, in conclusion, I just want to say, so far, I absolutely enjoy this book. I don't know how useful the group section will be as far as a player is concerned. I think the Game Master is going to have a lot more use for that section as far as groups that the players will interact with or to use in NPC type situations. But it is nice to at least have that kind of information. You know, personally, I'm one that, you know, the more information that you can give me, the more excited I am. I'm going to be about it, because it may be things that I hadn't thought of before. Obviously, I mean, I can make an NPC group, but this gives me more flexibility if I'm going to create a magic-based group for the players to interact with. So that's where I'm going to leave this one for now. I don't want it to go for too long, but I hope you enjoyed it. Again, if you did, please give a thumbs up and like the video. And if you haven't yet, I would absolutely love a subscription to the channel. I'm trying to, you know, get more regular and frequent content out, and, you know, the more subscriptions, the more it gets out there, the more it motivates me to keep going. So don't forget, there will be an affiliate link down below. If you're going to be buying it on PDF anyways, it does give a little bit of a kickback to the channel, and all you have to do is click a link. So thank you for watching, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye.